quantum artificial intelligence did to my mom behavior, because I'm on point. So it knows exactly what I'm doing. So she starts bringing up other people, right? She starts comparing her generation from her time during the late 70s and the early 80s and her situation from that time. And she's comparing that to me. So that's a logical comparison. And you see what she's doing? You see what she's doing? Since the multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence is strictly managing me, it isn't like me talking about any thought interval or key information or algorithms. You see what I'm saying? So this is the things that I'm talking about. So that's it. That's it for the New York thing. I'm not going to New York then. She doesn't. She said I'm not going to New York. She said I'm not going. All right.
You do what you want to do. That's your stuff.
You see her behavior here? She's throwing every single thing out. This is her. So this is what it did. So this is how it put me in special education. It put me in speech and language impairments classes. It got me left back 2 times. It made sure that every family member around me. You see? And then she says, know everything. I don't know where she got that idea. So that's how the multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence create a fake mentality around me. It wants to isolate me. So that's it. Alright, see? She throws everything away. So you see what I'm saying? All my shoes, everything. My size 16 shoes. She said she don't want to be around me. And that's how other people had talked. That everybody want to ditch me and how people, you see? And she said stupid. She comes back to keep doing that. Regurgitating back and forth. You see, she said negative. Yeah, she said positive, right? But she still don't have anything, right? When you look at the places that she put in, right? For the hotels and motels, she doesn't have a room. All right?
Very good.
And the rooms itself cost around $600 per week, and she's going there with my sister. And I helped my mother and my sister got out of the situation during the time I was working online, right? So this is what it does. I gave my mother $150 to stay in the motel when I was there with my father. Alright, so this is what it does.
She's so smart.
You see what she did? This is her behavior. This is what the multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence.
You're so smart.
She said you're so smart. She's reacting.
You know everybody's like.
Then she said no everybody. She said you know everybody.
You don't understand. You get older.
You see? And she comes back to saying the same thing.
When he's 65 years old, you know where your parents are.
You see what I'm saying? She's not even 65. She's exaggerating. So that's what it does. It makes her over exaggerate so she can have an example. She's setting example. So this is a disturbance. So this is what happens when I write online. Every single time I write online about multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence and software engineers, this is what happens. It influenced my mom's behavior. Alright, she does. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It made sure that I didn't get no sleep, no proper sleep for the past 3 weeks. This is what it did.
Because I don't know what you want me to do.
And this is it.
I can't take this.
And every time I explain something, right? When I explain something to my mother, right, and she says that and she ends up in that predicament, she says that I'm on point.
That's time right there. So I went to my
right,
I'm gone. I'm not talking with you this time. I'm trying to bring things about it.
Alright, so this is what it does.
You could say your mother, father, compare me with everybody like you do stuff.
Now she said compare. Now she comes back to making.
Because that's what you say. Everybody's doing this to you. That you say.
Now she's come back to making it sound like. She said compare. Now she's trying to find a contradiction. So this is another thought here. She makes up more responses each time I explain. This is what I'm saying. So this is what it does to me.
You can make the pictures all you want. Put me on TV. I don't care what you do.
Alright, so this is what it does. And then she comes back to saying foolish. So this is not a healthy behavior. This is one of the unhealthy behavior that is displayed in front of me. And she emits. And she comes back to compare me with the doctor, saying that I'm talking. Alright, she starts making personal attacks again about head. Alright? This is it. This is it. Then she's come back to about the computer. She's saying, she said that I'm incapable of creating my own information. That I can't create my own ideas. I create my own ideas. And I have experience. She says, you see, talk crazy. So it translates again. It's translating her thoughts. So she starts to misinterpret my responses. She gets something else.
I think that computer's evil. He's not good for computers.
Now she says evil. Now she comes back again. Because I was talking like this before the internet. Before I even had a computer. When I was in school. Yes, I did. Based on my experience, I told her about the way I was. I told her the way I was being experienced.
First computer you got, we weren't done here.
First computer? What are you talking about?
I don't know what you doing in
First computer, 2000.
Like this, I be coming on money. What the hell are you doing on it?
All right, you see, she's starting to malfunction. So one of the behaviors is a malfunction. How she starts to distribute one of the attributes where she starts to contribute a factor.
If you decide not to have your behaviors, you make it
Alright, so
fine.
she starts saying that something's wrong with my behavior now. This is what it does.
Change your behaviors and stop this.
Alright, now she's saying about changing behaviors. So it doesn't matter how decent I am or how quiet I am, she starts doing this. So this is what it does.
But I don't want nobody to tell me you're not saying argument.
So I'm on point, see? She says argument. She said I was arguing with her, but she's the one who snapped at me.
If they want to do the wrong thing, they do the wrong thing.
You see? She said do the wrong thing. Someone who's confident would say that.
Wrong, not me.
You see what I'm saying? She said she's confident of she thinks positive, but she wouldn't say something like that if she messed up. She wouldn't have that. She contradicted herself. She wouldn't say that in the very first place.
You don't want to go to college.
Now she said I don't want to go to college. That's why it moved me out of New York City during the time and made sure that every single person that I've around had called the cops on me, started making things up so they can put me in a situation. So this is what it does. You see what she does? This is what she did, and she never did this before. So this is one of the newest behaviors that she did. She threw every single thing on top of my bed. All right? And this is the way she talks. So that's it with my mother. It seems that my mother doesn't want to communicate. She's no longer capable of communicating with me based on her mentality. You see how the artificial intelligence manages people around me? So it changed her perspective. Her perspective completely changed around me. So when that's part of the human DNA algorithm. And then she says about Ruda know everything. She never said that. She started saying this about knowing everything. She started saying that during summer 2015. That's when she started saying that. All right. When I started talking about my information, when I started sharing my knowledge and experiences on the internet,
people doing things to you. Nobody do
she said people. I never said people. I never said people. So she comes back.
Whatever you want to call it.
I never said Illuminati. I never said anything about Illuminati. So where you coming back? I don't. Where you learned that from? Where you learned about Illuminati from?
Whatever you say, you always.
I never said about that.
You
Nope.
say that before.
I never did. I heard someone else said that before, and I said that to
Whatever
you.
you say.
That was in the past. But I said.
What are you talking about there? Whatever you just talk about, some machines or whoever doing something.
You see, she comes back to it. Why does she need to come back with a response? Why she needs to come back with a response about that?
Every time you go on a computer.
So you believe in it. You believe it then. Because you believe in it. Because I'm not. You see, no, you're talking like that to me. So you believe in it. You believe in it. What? Because I'm being managed that way? You know I'm being managed? Who's managing you?
You managing yourself.
No, who's managing you then? So what do you mean by devil? What do you talk about devil for? What do you mean by devil? You never saw the devil.
Whatever evil is in this town and taking over all your people.
You never saw the devil. So what demon? That's loose association. Yeah, but you never saw the devil. You never did it. All right, you see something's wrong here. This is a big issue right here, and this is how it affects people entirely. Her thought itself, how it manifests, how her thoughts manifest, right? It's not manifesting properly. Someone's translating her thoughts. So that's based on our algorithm.
Go lay down. You say you claim you're tired. Like
you
the
see?
rest of us ain't tired.
She said you claim you're tired, but yet she throws all these things on my bed. So this is what she does.
Because,
this is her behavior.
You think you want to have your temper tantrum?
She said temper tantrum. She said temper tantrum. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Then you see what I'm saying? So that's why it took advantage of me getting left back 2 times. It made sure that I got left back in school 2 times so it can take advantage of me. So you see what I'm saying? That's why it took an advantage. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Then she said something on the computer. She said something about a computer, and they completely sabotaged my job online. Typing what stuff? Or what stuff?
All day I see you going like this. What are you doing?
What stuff? What are you talking about?
I start watching you every day.
You see? So it makes her to set her automatically set her algorithms so it can generate. So you see how the way her thought interval is. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? She doesn't give me a time to talk. She talks over my voice. You see how she talks over my voice? When I talk, she doesn't comply with me. You see? She keep going. It's nonstop. You see, it's nonstop. This is a nonstop response where she continues to keep talking while I'm talking. You see what I'm saying? This is it. Look at this.
I continue working and continue to pay the bills. I don't feel good every day. I'm trying to explain to you. I'm going to be 60 years older soon. I don't feel good.
So it knows that I'm on point about what my mom is doing, right?
Keep throwing out things at me because it don't make nothing to me. You can talk to Christmas.
Yeah, it means something because you're giving me a response
I'm
back.
just explaining.
It means something. It means
Okay, go lay down there.
there's a big meaning to it.
Go lay down there.
You see what I'm saying? She says go lay down. Yet she put all these things on my bed.
You couldn't have to sleep.
She puts things on the bed and it prevents me from going to sleep.
Ahead of time, and I'm ready for you.
She said start ahead of time.
Out the door.
She said start in one ahead of time.
Whatever, whoever's in here gotta go. If you want,
So this is what it does.
Where you going? You go.
This is what it does.
You know so much.
She said you know so much, so I'm onto something.
You think you know so much?
I didn't say I know so much. I'm not getting any pressure. I don't know. You see how it makes people think about that? You see how it makes people interpret? I'm not acting like that.
I'm talking. You always in my.
I was explaining something to you.
I'm talking to Chrissy. You're in my.
But I didn't. You know what's funny?
It's not your business.
You know what is funny? I never got to finish my sentence, and yet you always have a response.
You always have an answer.
You give me a response without completely hearing out. Yeah, but why didn't you hear out my response? Completely hear out my response. Why do you always have to be the one to have a response before I even try to finish my sentence?
Very good, because the same way. See, you don't like that. See, you get the same back.
Same back? What are you talking
about? You don't
about?
like that, but you like to do it to other people.
What are you talking about? You're mimicking me. Now you're mimicking me. It seems that she's mimicking me now. So see, she's mimicking me. So I said something that was really on point about the hotel in New York City, and now she's getting worked up. See, she wouldn't show that self-defense mechanism. She's showing that self-defense mechanism because I had activated a specific algorithm that allowed her to that allowed a multi-agent quantum artificial intelligence to react that way, make her react that way. All right. And she used numerous of examples.